Hello and welcome back to another video, and yeah, it's this again. Amico, a deep dive into Intellivision tank battle, it says. But before that, originally the video I reacted to was battle tanks. Then, and it was about 18-19 minutes long. Then they took that video down, and so in the background it said, where it says tank battle now, it said battle tanks. So they had to re-record the entire video so that it said tank battle. Morons. And then the second video they took down where it did say tank battle, they had to take that down. I mean, you can edit videos out to take stuff out, but they just took the entire video down, and now this is the third time it's been up there. It's an absolute bloody mess, it really is. And so as you can see from the length of this particular video, it says 16:49, so they've cut a good couple of minutes or so out of this video. But I just thought that I thought I could guarantee that when OEB Pete finds out that Battle Tank's content was stolen, which is clearly the title of a video we're coming to, he won't be having so much of an Amico day. In fact, he's going to end up going all Dog Day afternoon. And if we just go to, well, as I found out, I then had a look on the on his video. It's to say, well, it's just say it looks to say, look. So we've got OEB Pete's face there with his bum fluff tash, battle tanks. So he's still got their video on it. But tank battle, he's not re-recorded his video. So we got, in fact, yeah, you can see his recording on the 18th of November. Their third video now goes up on the 23rd of November. So, and he's still got, even though he's changed the title to tank battle, he's not changed the hashtag, so it still says battle tanks. He's bloody hopeless, isn't he? I mean, he even defends it in the comments. People mention it to him, and he's just like, oh, well, you know, people make mistakes. They need to get better quality control. I mean, I wonder if bank robbers say the same. You know, they go steal money from a bank, and, oh, well, we made a mistake. We shouldn't be doing that again. You know, if you catch up with Peter Sutcliffe, the mass murderer, you imagine him saying, oh, well, I made a mistake. No, it won't happen again. Duh. Absolute shambles. And then we come to the FAQ. Fuck you. So, I'm not going to rush through this, quite frankly. I'm not going to go into detail about this, because it's pretty much an absolute load of old crap. It's just blah, blah, blah. It's so generic. They've taken forever and a day to come out with something. And it's just generic and generic and generic. It's not even worth going through. It's pretty much everything we've, gone through already. We've learned along the way, but it doesn't tell you when it's coming out. And it tells you that the thing is, the console will include 2 controllers and 6 games. The 6th one we still haven't been told. Starts at $249 USD, and still says it's going to be out on the first quarter of 2022. Which, it's not going to happen. I'm still calling it January, February this, next year. They just pull funding. Well, they'll say we've not got the funding for it. They'll try and get the last bit of funding in by the end of the year, and then they'll just pull the whole deal. It's just a joke. This is not coming out. This is definitely not coming out. In fact, just coming to a few things from Reddit here. Intellivision tank battle. This is just a thing from when the video was posted for the third time on their channel. It was just mentioned on Reddit here, the Intellivision Amico Reddit, not the official one. But the official one's just a dumpster fire anyway. But it's just where Paraclaw says, imagine promising 10 deep dive videos coming in September. Then 2 months later you release the first one. Now he mentions 4 times. It's only 3 as by my count. But you have to re-release it multiple times to cover up all the stolen assets. Oh, they even forgot to blur the explosion on the title screen, which is also from the original game. So, yeah. I guess this time we got cold feet after this line from Tech Raptor. We've also asked World of Tanks developer Wargaming and War Thunder studio Gajan Entertainment for their takes on the matter. So, yes, it just is a bloody clusterfuck, it really is. Oh, but Amico production has begun. This email came into my inbox late on Tuesday, I think, was it? Saving the best news for last. I'm glad someone screenshotted this, because for some reason, if I show an email through my video capture card, the NVIDIA Shadow Play, whatever it is, it doesn't actually capture it, which is bloody stupid. A capture card that doesn't capture shit. I mean, well, it's part of the graphics card, but anyway, you get the idea. Amico production has begun, saving the best news for last. The entire team is excited to announce we've completed our pre-production and started formal production of Amico consoles, even though they haven't actually completed the back end or the UI or any of that shit. We're focusing on releasing our initial launch units that will ship to our first customers as soon as possible. We hope to have more accurate shipping information by the end of the year. So, very sorry, Turbo Joe, you're not getting your console by Christmas. Or even December 31st, which is what Tommy promised and what you said was a guarantee. What a clown. But what else other shit we got? I think, we've seen the FAQ. So, this is a good one. Tom and lying, not knowing what he's talking about. So just another thing from the Amico Reddit. He gets asked about the Evel Kneivel game. He's saying theirs is a much different game. Over a year more development. I mean, as people commented on here, and as I think myself, it's a very simple game anyway. But we've added more vehicles, graphics, audio, physics, animations, control levels. Added an amazing 2 to 4 player multiplayer. Much more fun watching on a big screen and player with a controller. Lots of fun with friends. And as I've said before, people play stuff on their mobile because they're short of something to do for a few minutes while they're on the train or on a bus. They're not looking to play the same game when they come home. They'll probably put Netflix on or something. They don't want to, it's just something you use to kill the time when you're out of the house and you're a bit bored. You don't want to, come home to the same thing. But Tommy thinks they do, and he says, and as I said, so it's not going to happen. So, but even as I've said before, you could get your game out and then just add all the extra vehicles and graphics, etc. later on. Just get your game out now, or if the console was out. You don't have to try. You don't have to keep perfecting it, because you'll never release the game if you do that. If you always wait until you think it's ready, you'll never release it. So just release the game. Look at all those games that get released and then they patch them up afterwards. Happens all the time. I mean, I've never played Cyberpunk 2077 beyond a few minutes, and word has it that's still a pile of crap about a year after launch. But they're still doing patches and stuff for it. GTA Trilogy, the same with that. It's all going to pot. But they're trying to patch it up, and they do it after launch. But Tommy just doesn't want to launch anything because he's got nothing to launch. Oh, and he also adds the original game is no longer available on mobile and wasn't free. Though, as Beetlejuice 7 is shown on here, yes, it was free. Excuse me, I've got ice cube in my mouth. But it says this app is designed for iPhone and iPad. It's a 5-year-old game. I mean, that must have been taken. Did I find it on Android? Let me just see if I can find it on my Android phone now. But according to that, it seems to be available on the Apple Store anyway. So I've got to try and work out how to spell bloody Knievel. Evel Kneivel. Is it? No, Evel Knievel Days. No. So it's not on Android, the Google Play Store anyway. So, but if it's on iTunes, whatever the fuck it is, then, which it looks like it is, that's a double lie from Tommy. What a surprise! And in the back of goals from their FAQs, it shows that Tommy quietly removed the end of the year back of goal. So it's all Q1 2021. So just scroll down here. When will the Amico? I think I might have shown this in the FAQ a bit before. We are constantly pushing our vendors and suppliers to help us bring Amico to life as soon as possible. We are currently targeting the release of Amico for the first quarter of 2022. Then just scrolling down here, What a Dingle says we're working extremely hard to get the Amico in your hands by shitposting daily on Atari Age and Facebook. Precisely. And down here, Steam Powered Internet says they can't be pushing vendors and suppliers if the console and the back end are not finished. This is all bullshit again. I work in central purchasing for a large medical device company and have for many, many years. There's no such thing as pushing vendors or suppliers. This is mind-boggling, stupid wording. Who the fuck is writing this garbage? As Count Canero says, dummy Tallarico. They can't finish the console on its back end, order parts, pass certification, which I've covered before, and finish manufacturing in 3 months. China shuts down in February because of the Chinese New Year. They're not making they're not making 6,000 units of anything by March. Q1 2022 is not happening. Precisely. It's an absolute joke. We've seen that. We've seen that. What have we got next? Yeah, this is a funny one as well. Smashing Time 98 says, wonder why they feel the need to specify that the people who show up at Amico events are regular people. I've seen some great reaction videos from regular people at your demo events. How can I participate in one? Our live events are open to the public, which we announce them 5 minutes before they open. Please join our mailing list to be notified of the next event. We'd love to see you there. All our reaction videos show regular folks, not paid actors. Well, we've debunked that before. Giving their genuine reactions. We ask attendees if they'd like to give their reaction on camera, and many happily do, in return for $10,000 of investment and a free Amico t-shirt. So after all that chat, let's try and have a look at the Slopes Amico video. I think Slopes has fallen asleep there. So as before, I'll leave out the chat replay because that just ends up slowing me down. I've got just under an hour to go on this video. On this, as I start to do this bit, I'm kind of limited for time, so I might not go through as much as I'd normally cover, because I do try to cover like half an hour or so until we get to that point. But yeah, we'll see how we go for time. But whatever happens is, if I don't get through as much as I would expect to in this particular video, we'll just cover the rest in for part 6 anyway. So let's go.
Bought a Wii.
Oh, by the way, I think I rewound just a little bit, so you might hear some stuff from last time that you heard just as we were coming to the end.
Right? My mom didn't buy a Switch, but
I was saying his mum bought a Wii, but she didn't buy a Switch. Yeah, probably because she's about another 20 years older, and she's no longer bothered about video games. People's tastes change, you know, unless you're OEB Pete.
At the time, she bought a Wii, right? And so looking at that audience, who's our audience? It's the 3 billion people that play mobile games.
I mean, obviously the
mobile. I think I covered that last time. Yeah, he's just bringing all that shit up again. Just thinking that, like I mentioned before, expecting people who they think, oh, if that 5 minutes I spent when I was bored on the train or the bus earlier on, yeah, I really want to do that for 3 hours when I come home. No, you don't. And I've said that before about my mate who he might play a game on his phone. I said to him, you know, he plays it for free on his phone. I said, do you want to pay $300 for the same thing and play that at home? He said, no. Why would you pay $300 for the same shit? Just play it at home. And besides which, anyway, if you did want to play it on your TV screen, there's all kinds of screen mirroring apps that just project your phone onto the TV screen. So it's not something anyone wants to do, but Tommy thinks we do.
The big argument there, and it's one that gets brought up a lot, is the fact that the reason the Wii U wasn't able to capture the besides stupid naming, what have you, wasn't able to capture the magic of the Wii, is by the time everyone had bought the Wii, realised they're only ever going to play Wii bowling. I mean, I have literally been to old people's houses and seen a Wii underneath the telly, as in like you know, like.
Yeah, we go to old people's homes and there's a Wii on the floor. It's usually a different kind of Wii.
Care homes is because now everyone has everyone has got a mobile phone. Everyone has got one of these things.
Right, but you can't play together. You couldn't.
I'm pretty sure you can, but you can do that with the Switch anyway. There must be like multiplayer things you can do with your phone. I've not looked into that because it's not my kind of thing, but it must be possible. If you know, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I mean, Tommy thinks he's solving a problem, but he's trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist, basically.
You couldn't play a cornhole game. The 4 people in your household, you can download cornhole all day, cornhole games all day long on that, but you can't play together. You can't.
Can you not play on the same phone? Yeah, I mean, you'd have to pass around the same phone, and I don't like other people using my phone, but yeah, that's again, he's trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist.
Play on Teams. You can't say, "Oh, Dad, you missed it. Oh, you knocked me off. You son of a gun." That's the big differentiating factor in what we're doing, which doesn't exist in mobile. The problem with mobile is that it's very solitary.
The problem is that the word is mobile, not mobile.
It's your auntie just staring into a screen.
Yeah, because people do that just to pass the time for 5 minutes, not for an hour. Oh, God, he's got no clue, has he?
All the educational games, all the edutainment games for young kids. Parents are like freaking out because their kids are spending 8 hours a day on a tablet, because all of those games are single player, kids turning into zombies in their room, taking it in their room.
Yeah, they don't want to play with other people though. If I was a kid in the tablet age, same as I had with me Atari 2600 back in the day, I just wanted to get away from everyone else and just play video games on my own. I didn't want other people involved. They weren't interested anyway. No one in the family was interested. My sister would be listening to music, and my parents would be doing whatever parents do, watching dramas on TV in the evening, which I had no interest in whatsoever when I was the age of 10. I will watch those now because it's more my thing now, but I had no interest in watching a drama at 9 p.m. on BBC One. But instead, I'd be playing video games, and if I wasn't in bed by that time, I wasn't sure. Can't remember what my bedtime was. It's been a little while. So nobody wants to play those games in the family. But Tommy thinks everyone will as soon as they get an Amico. He's trying to recreate the whole Wii business 15 years after it came out. It's not happening.
Bringing video games back into the living room.
He's just living in the fucking past.
Right? And for everybody to sit on a couch and play together like the Wii did. Now, I'll also say this as a counter to your Wii example, is that the Wii, Nintendo didn't really focus too much on that casual market. Yeah, they came out with Wii Sports, and then they did, Resort, which was great. The Wii Fit stuff, people could argue that was something that was simple.
I'd say that's cool, more single, isn't it? I suppose Wii Fit.
But Metroid Prime, Pokemon, Mario, Zelda, Smash Brothers, those were the big titles that that Nintendo first party was working on, with the Wii as well too. And then we talk about all the shovelware, all of the
all the shovelware on the Amico.
Other game publishers. What had happened is no one thought Wii was going to be big before it came out, right? And so
yeah, but they struck gold. It was just something. I don't know what Nintendo's expectations were. It wasn't a console I particularly cared about, and I didn't have one. But I know it was huge, but as I understand it, all the sort of Wii Sports games, I think that came with it, and that was the biggest thing that came out for it. But yeah, it's just it was lightning in a bottle. Lightning in a bottle. It happened. It wasn't going to happen again ever. But Tommy thinks he can recreate it 15 years on. Sorry, I got news for you, pal. It's not happening.
All of the big publishers, the Ubisofts, the EAs, the Activisions, the THQs, all those big folks, look, let's be honest. There's A team developers, there's B team developers, there's the third string, and then, and beyond. Well, all of the best developers and internal developers, they were all doing stuff for PlayStation and Xbox and PC. Let's be honest, right? And then when the Wii came out, those teams were working on that. And so it's like the teams that maybe didn't have, that maybe weren't the best of the best started doing games. The game publishers are like, well, okay, let's try to throw this game on here, or let's just do a port of this.
Well, that's definitely happening with the Switch as well, isn't it? Yeah.
And even the game tools now are a lot better than they were for the Wii.
Tools. Yeah, I can see there's a tool talking an awful lot here.
15 years ago,
okay.
Right? You have Unity, you have the Unreal Engine. So small teams can actually make really awesome quality games now.
Except the ones at Intellivision, who they could have pushed out loads of games by now, but they haven't finished any. They even got beyond one level of Finnegan Fox, it seems. Maybe 2 levels. He talks about people being able to finish games. He can't finish one fucking game.
Now, independently, and throw those up on Steam and on Switch. Mm-hmm. But back in the Wii days, those tools didn't exist. You had to be a part of the program to create the motion control games. And again, you just saw a lot. You had to be a video game publisher in order to really, put out a video game on the Wii. It was a different time, a different market. And so you got a lot of crap shovelware. So you say,
hello, Mr. Pot, here's Mr. Kettle.
Well, parents only, like my mom, only went to play Wii bowling. Yeah, because there wasn't a AAA team working on quality stuff for my mom. Those quality teams...
Yeah, because they weren't... That wasn't the market. They aimed the thing at kids. If there's some family game, there may be some family games in there, but the AAA games, I mean, all I can sort of comment on really is the ones I know about for the Switch, like Legend of Zelda. Those are sort of aimed at kids. But if the family, there will be some family games on the Switch, which the family can play as well. But mum and dad aren't necessarily going to, they're not going to be spending 100 hours on Legend of Zelda. That's going to be for the kids.
We're doing Zelda. They were doing Pokemon. They were doing Pikmin. They were doing Mario. They were...
Yeah, you're reading off all the reasons why the Nintendo have been successful and why you're not, and why you're never going to be.
Doing other ports of stuff and, not really coming out. So in television, the difference between what we're doing out in television is we want all of our games to have that fun factor that Wii Sports did. That's our focus, is to make every game like that, meaning simple, easy, pick up and play. Focus on the gameplay, not on the graphics, not on 150 in-depth levels.
Yeah, he's not focusing on the graphics. If he needs graphics, he'll just steal them from World of Tanks.
Or whatever,
Mm-hmm. No, okay, yeah.
And hey, it's up to us to do it, to do it or not. If we can't accomplish that, then we're going to fail. I'll be the first one to admit it.
Yeah, you need. It's definitely going to be tough to make a lot of Wii Sport calibers.
Tough, Dan. Let me tell you, it's funny because people say, "Oh, he's so arrogant." Look, I'm hopeful and I'm confident, but having a positive mental attitude is different from being arrogant, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I was so arrogant, I wouldn't be talking to small YouTuber channels or big YouTubers like
you are arrogant
yourself. I'd be, we only talk to people with over 1 million subscribers.
Well, he says Slopes is a big YouTuber. Yes, he's got 150,000 subscribers on his main channel, where he talks about scams. And yet he can't see this big scam right under his fucking nose. But then he decides to have this particular thing on his extra channel, which is has less than 8,000 subscribers and less hits than my channel with which has just over 5,000 subscribers. So why didn't he have this on his 150k channel? Because he knew he'd get left out of the fucking park. That's why.
You know, I know, and our entire team at Intellivision, make no mistake, we're not over here drinking our own Kool-Aid. We know.
That phrase again.
Even before COVID, let's take COVID out of it for a second. We know that they call it hardware for a reason, because it's hard. We know that in a normal world, doing something like this and coming out with a product with all of the features and things that we're doing, we know is a huge, impossible uphill battle. But we're going to try to get to the top. We're doing everything in our power to get to the top.
Yeah, the only thing you'll get to the top is your bank balance. When you run off with everyone's money, including Slopes, who's definitely only pre-ordered the console, definitely not invested. It's definitely not a paid interview. He's definitely not a paid shill. He's definitely only invested. Definitely. He's definitely only, he's definitely only ordered the console, pre-ordered it. Definitely not invested.
That's before all this crap went down. Then COVID, component crisis, manufacturing, inflation, throwing prices like crazy.
Pour me a drink.
Shipping, logistics. Dan, could we have picked a worse time in the history of the world?
It's just full of fucking excuses. This is classic scam territory. He's just giving excuses as to why he can take people's money and not deliver a product. He is a classic fucking scammer. This has turned into, as I said before, this is a scam. It's turned into, he may have had intention to release a console originally, but it's turned into a scam. He's doing classics. I've seen it before, as I've mentioned. He's turned into a classic. It's classic scammer behaviour that he's doing. It's ghastly. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible.
To want to come out with a product like ours that's affordable, that's easy, I mean, are you kidding me? So what was already a massively difficult challenge is now times 100 because of all this other crap that we had no idea of and expecting. Dan,
bit of a potty mouth there.
The fact that we're still around is a miracle, quite frankly.
We'll give it another couple of months and you won't be.
Hundreds of thousands of revenue generating companies went out of business over the last year.
Oh, they did, yeah. There's no doubt.
Alone.
And it's,
in fact, he's just extending the he's padding out the answers without even giving any answers, and it's probably just getting a bit of a tiring interview at this point. But we'll stick with it. We're nearly the end.
It's the one thing with me creating like kick scammer stories. It's as a content.
Yeah, you can't see the scammer under his nose.
It's tough for you sometimes.
It's very tough because I can't.
Giving their all.
Yeah, everyone's everyone that's making one of these Kickstarters and different types of crowdfunding projects and whatever else.
They probably started out with good intentions.
Absolutely, but the excuse of we can't do anything because of COVID is just something that you cannot argue. It's happening across the board.
And look, I don't want to use it as an excuse either. Yes, we've done things wrong. We're learning as we go. We're not Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony. I'll keep coming back and saying
you still can't get Sony PlayStation 5s easy. So
you can get them if you eventually. I mean, I got mine at the launch. Just Slopes, go back to your fruit bowl if you want to compare apples with oranges. It's two entirely different fucking things. God, this is a hopeless fucking interview.
Explains it.
They have tens of billions of dollars in the bank. When Microsoft had the red ring of death, they could spend money and take care of the problem. if something like that happened to us?
Well, they didn't, because mine eventually died long time after I'd kind of finished playing with it. But I brought it out again a couple of years ago, and it suffered that problem, and now it doesn't bloody work. Now what do I do with it? It's fucked.
We're out of business. I got news for you. So
He'll be saying that in February.
So yeah, it's been extremely challenging, and I would only ask the people out there, anyone listening to this, to maybe keep all of this in mind if you want to go negative hate on us. Maybe cut us a little slack, maybe cut us a little break to say, you know what they're doing is really, really difficult and challenging. You know what? Maybe it's not for me, but I wish them luck.
Fuck off.
Yep, and some of the people that actually gave their opinions on the cases, and especially Grizzly, was that person. So that's good. Now, I want this thing to come out, and I want it to be a success. But let's say it doesn't. Let's say it comes out, and whatever reason, it's either not a success, it doesn't work, whatever happens.
Yeah.
You've got. I keep coming back to those 10 Commandments, but I know one of the things you said you wanted was when games like this come out. The reason it's coming out on your system is because you've made it unique for your system, and it's the same with Evel Kneivel and I believe Rigid Force, Redux, and probably others as well. Does it work the other way? Let's say the system doesn't work and it completely dies a death for whatever reason. Can these developers let's say who's this? Can Bonus Level Entertainment release the game on Steam, but take away a level or add a level because it's now they're contracted to make it unique for you?
No, not for Finnegan Fox. They couldn't.
Due to contract reasons.
So, yeah, they make a game for the Amico. No one buys the Amico, and they get they sell it for less than $10. So the revenue sharing is, I think he said it was like 50% for which is quite high for the 50% for the developer. Actually, not as much as Epic Games, I understand. I think they've got sort of 80-20 split there, or is it 88-12? But I think Tommy's doing a 50-50 split. So at most they get $5 from every copy sold. They spend hours and hours and hours and hours making a game, and they get precious little out of it. Why would you make a game for the Amico? It's just a bloody farce.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that that we wouldn't do that with them or something. I don't know. I mean, I see. I hate to get into speculation stuff like that because then people say,
yeah.
And he hasn't got an answer.
Yeah.
People take it the wrong way.
But he doesn't want to think about the Amico failing. That's what it is. It's not coming out anyway, but he doesn't want to admit the truth.
So
basically, what I'm saying is these games.
In fact, he hasn't got any intention of releasing alternate versions for Steam, PlayStation, whatever. Because as soon as he shuts down the Amico, he'll fuck off to the Bahamas with all your money.
Coming to your system, but that isn't going to be the end of these games. Are these games able to go out on other systems if they're different?
Sure, yeah.
So
sure. Are you working with Disney? Yeah, but you can't say we haven't been talking to them. Yeah. Says a lie there. That's a classic lie. Let's say that again.
Other systems if they're different.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
So some of them.
Yeah, some of the ones that aren't, I suppose, like primary exclusive ones that you guys are making.
Yeah, well, like Rigid Force Redux is already out on everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So why would you fucking bother with the Amico?
Exactly.
Our version is different.
So if the people behind,
But whatever the difference is, I don't know for that one. Whatever the difference would be, there's no reason to. It's not a big enough thing to spend $300 plus $10 to find out, or $20, whatever it is, to find out what the difference is. It's not happening, is it?
I need to find one that's a third-party game, but something like Breakout.
Moon Patrol.
Yeah, or Breakout.
Breakout. That can only come out on Amico. That would only come out on Amico. Whether Amico fails or succeeds, if we go out of business, no, Choice Provisions or Atari cannot put that game out on another system.
even though it works on a PC. The demo works on a PC. So why wouldn't you just put it out on a PC?
Unless they want to pay us for it.
So Moon Patrol, that would that be able to go?
Same scenario.
Okay.
Moon Patrol is owned by IREM. It's only being made for Amico. We control, we control, well, the licensor controls the license, the developer, but there's a perfect example where
I didn't realize it was an IREM game. Sorry.
We've made the game with the developer,
Awesome. And so here's a hard question for you. Why would you, Tommy, limit yourself to having these games to be only what are essentially PG games? Why wouldn't you allow for games to be more adult orientated?
Yeah, because our target audience is the family market, and we've seen, and we need to be unique as well. And that's why people say, oh, why don't you just allow direct ports on your system? Well, because everybody does that. And we need to be unique. So if you knew that you could have a video game system like the Playdate, where every single game on there was only unique to the Playdate, that's a plus for the Playdate, right? And so for us, not allowing violent games, and again, a hardcore gamer may not quite understand what I'm about to say, because in their world, and it's fine, but for middle America mom, for Walmart shopper, flyover states, whatever, conservative Christian, whatever label you want to put on people, not having that stuff. It's a concern with parents.
Get on with it.
If you're a parent who has a 7 or 8 year old and you don't mind them blowing the heads off of people in Call of Duty, fine.
Call of Duty is not for 7-year-olds though. It's for people aged 18 and over. If parents are letting the kids of that age play Call of Duty, then that's their own lookout. That's bad parenting.
Whatever, you're the parent, you can make whatever rules you want. But if you think other parents aren't concerned about that type of stuff, then I'll push back on you and say you're absolutely out of your element and you're wrong.
Yeah, no, and they are wrong. I had to go through all of the details. My son's discovered Roblox, unfortunately, and the amount of settings I had to go through to make sure that he couldn't get into the Squid Game rooms and all that sort of stuff. He's a 6-year-old kid, for people interested.
And that is a perfect example, Dan. You are somebody who is a hardcore gamer. If you don't believe me, look behind you. You're a person.
See, just oh, can I make you smile, Slopes? Can I make you smile? Give me money. Give me more money.
Who knows technology. You are smart enough to have to go through and
to not see through Tommy's bullshit.
And again, Roblox is a game for kids. You had to go through all that stuff. And you also have, oh crap, who's he going to talk to online?
Yeah, it's all been turned off.
Right? So you are a concerned parent. Now imagine middle America mom who's not a hardcore gamer, who doesn't know about going into here and there and they know nothing about any of this stuff. What if we created a console for them where they didn't have to worry about it? And you say, oh, well, why don't you just have it set parental control?
It's like he's trying to create it's like the Simpsons episode where they tried to tone down Itchy and Scratchy so that there was no longer any violence in it. They just more lemonade. Yes, please. That was it. Just, yeah. It soon gets very old very quickly.
Nope. What if you didn't have to worry about it?
I think that's the big thing, because even though every kid at my wife's school wants a Switch, You know, I mean, it might not be aimed at kids, but, you know, kids definitely want to get hold of a Switch.
Sure.
But I've got behind me Metroid Dread, which is, I believe, a 15. Other games that are more adult orientated. I mean, there are some, like you say, we talked about it before, there are some, like, pornographic games. I'm not saying put those on there.
There is.
But, like...
yeah, maybe he's going to mention it here, but Tommy did say that Nintendo is full of... I won't use the R word, but it means attacking somebody very badly. The R word, you can look it up. He said Nintendo games are full of R word. Tommy's just a fucking idiot.
We talked about it before. There's some like pornographic games. I'm not saying put those on.
It's like Slopes is encouraging him.
There is.
But like,
you said it. I didn't.
Yeah, there are. I've made videos.
No, you said it a long time ago, Tommy.
It's on like Nintendo Switch games made for perverts. You know, I'm not talking about those games. But what I'm talking about is a game where... Okay,
was that really the name of the video?
That generally was the name of the video, yeah. It was a two-part video, so I made that twice.
Oh, and I got to look that one up.
And it got...
Careful, though. People are going to call you a hater for that.
No, I definitely got that from it. But even down to, like, I've got, like, fun zombie games where you might see a little bit of blood. Like, it's comedic blood. We're talking comic book style, like it's, you know. But
by the way, that's fine on our system too.
But I mean, I still think
they call it comedy, cartoon violence. It's called.
Surely, I mean, even on a download or as a physical product, like having an 18 sticker on there, big fat one, or even when you download, by the way, this is an 18 rated game. Do not download this for your kid.
Right.
You've taken that ability away. You can only ever have games.
I don't want that. We don't want that because think of it this way: when you go into Disneyland, when people take their kids to Disneyland or Disney World, they don't have to worry about it. They know that everything in there, you know, there's not going to be a strip joint around the corner. There's not going to be, somebody behind a bar swearing at, you know, that their kids could hear or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it makes us unique. It's a talking point. And again, Dan, I got to say, we've done research, not with tens, not with hundreds, but thousands of people.
Show us this research.
And you know what's at the top of their list about why they want an Amico? Is because we don't have violent games on the system.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's bullshit because the parental controls can sort that out. But, I'm going to have to sort of kind of cut it a little bit shorter than I'd like. But it'll still leave us with a nice meaty 34 minutes to go. 34 minutes and 4 seconds, so we're on 2:09:38. So, yeah. That's just a little bit of Tommy talking out of his arse for now. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be back for more shit soon. In the meantime, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, click on the bell for all the notifications, and cue Genesis.